Some say a man's worth is measured in gold, others in blood. Daeron is not here for gold. He does not conquer with fire or ice. He does not need dragons, nor does he whisper to the shadows. His power is simple, yet terrifying. He makes his enemies bleed until nothing remains. Now, if you've been following my channel for a while, you know I already made a video about Daeron when he first arrived in Game of Thrones. Winter is coming. Back then, we explored his skills, his place in the game, and whether he was worth the insane price tag. But now, things have changed. He's awakened. He has a weapon. And today, we're diving even deeper to see if this Bleed King is truly worth the thousands it takes to unlock him. History remembers the name Daeron well, though it does not always speak kindly of it. Daeron First Targaryen, known as the Young Dragon, was a boy king who accomplished the impossible. He conquered Dorne at just 14 years old. But like all Targaryens, who rise too quickly, he met his downfall just as fast. His rule lasted only 4 years before he was betrayed and murdered by the very people he sought to rule. His dream of uniting Westeros under one banner washed away in blood. Now, in this game, Daeron gets his second chance. No longer a boy king, no longer naive. This Daeron is not here to conquer. He is here to destroy. So, you want Daeron? Sit down. We need to talk. Daeron is part of the 1000 Black Diamond Commander Club, meaning he's about as exclusive as a meeting with Tywin Lannister. Here's the breakdown. Unlocking him to gold requires 330 medals. Each pack gives you 6 medals for 1,000 black diamonds. That means you need to buy 55 packs, which equals $5,500. Yes, you read that right. That's more money than the entire Iron Fleet probably cost Euron Greyjoy. Now, if you're smart or just patient, you can wait and use Honor Token Exclusive Chest, where these packs get discounted. But make no mistake, Daeron is not for free-to-play players. He is a pay-to-bleed commander, both in-game and in real life. Daeron doesn't need dragons, wildfire, or shadow magic. He just needs time, because the longer the battle drags on, the deadlier he becomes. Core stats and buffs are 50% infantry attack, your front line hits harder, 25% total defense, makes infantry even tankier, 25% counter damage, reduction versus cavalry, completely disrupts the traditional cavalry to infantry counter rule. So, what does this mean? It means he lets infantry go toe-to-toe with cavalry and actually win. But that's just the beginning. Daeron's true power lies in synergy with bleed-focused commanders. Daeron's signature ability revolves around bleed, a damage over time effect that keeps stacking until enemies can't fight back. His 4-star awakening ability works like this. Every 50 normal attacks, Daeron unleashes an AoE attack on all enemy lines. If enemies are already bleeding, they take 150% stronger damage. More bleed equals more death. The longer the fight, the worse it gets for them. Who should you pair him with? For maximum pain, Daeron needs commanders who trigger bleed and normal attacks. His best allies are Sinara, makes normal attacks trigger more often, which means faster skill activation for Daeron. Rhea, ensures critical hits cause bleed, so Daeron's skill always does max damage. Jon Snow, buffs infantry and guarantees even more bleed damage. Barrett and Sandor, extra bleed effects, making enemy health bars disappear even faster. This bleed army setup is terrifying. Once you awaken Daeron, he no longer just inflicts bleed, he feeds off it like a war-hungry leech. If Daeron was already dangerous, his exclusive weapon makes him downright unstoppable. What does Flames of War do? Reduces the normal attacks required for his skill to trigger from 50 to 40, boosts bleed damage to absurd levels, improves synergy with Sinara and Rhea, making battles a nightmare for your enemies. Damage increase up to 80%, making his AoE attack hit harder than Daenerys' Dragonfire. How do you get it? Oh, this one hurts. It's only available through Treasure Hunt for 500 coins. Getting 500 coins requires about 4,500 black diamonds. That's before you start upgrading it. Upgrading the weapon improves its attack speed, bleed scaling, and damage multipliers. But maxing it out is another costly endeavor. Bottom line, if you can afford it, it's one of the most broken weapons in the game. Daeron is built for wars of attrition, long, grueling battles where enemies don't realize they're already dead. Alliance conquests and sieges. Bleed stacks build over time, making Daeron devastating in drawn-out fights. Training grounds. His stun, healing, and rapid attacks make him surprisingly tanky and hard to kill. Cavalry countering. If your enemy runs cavalry-heavy lineups, Daeron neutralizes their advantage. But he has weaknesses. He needs time to build up bleed stacks. If a fight ends too quickly, he won't reach his full potential. Surprisingly, Daeron isn't just about war. He's also got some tavern perks. Finance, 4 stars. Who knew a bloodthirsty warrior was good with money? Combat rate, 5 stars, obviously. Upgrade him to 2 stars, and his tavern skills improve even further. Is Daeron worth it? Pros. One of the strongest bleed commanders in the game. Counters cavalry and disrupts the meta. Devastating area of effect damage that scales with time. Cons. Extremely expensive to unlock and upgrade. Requires specific synergy teams to be at full power. Final verdict. If you can afford him, he's absolutely terrifying. But if your bank account is already bleeding, maybe it's best to wait. Now, who should we cover next? Let me know in the comments. Until then, may your enemies bleed more than your wallet.